You're about to hear a story that really bridges two different worlds. You've got the gritty side of hip-hop journalism, right? And then the kind of strategic thinking behind building a major media empire.
And it's all born out of conflict, which is fascinating. A real story of resilience.
Exactly. We're diving deep today into the journey of DJ Vlad and that, well, notorious legal battle he had with Rick Ross.
It really wasn't just another celebrity spat, was it?
Not at all. This thing, it went way beyond the courtroom. It fundamentally reshaped Vlad TV, turned it from, a growing platform into a media powerhouse.
Yeah, so our mission today is really to unpack this whole saga, the resilience, those unexpected turns, and how this huge challenge actually became like a launch pad for incredible growth.
What's so interesting here, if you look past the splashy headlines, is how this moment of really deep adversity, this legal fight about alleged journalistic retaliation,
Right.
it somehow became the bedrock for this huge, influential media platform.
It's pretty incredible. So this deep dive, it's not just about the court case facts. It's about understanding that foundational shift, in media creation and the power of having a real vision.
Yeah.
We'll break down the events leading up to it, get into the weeds of the court stuff, and then reveal that, well, really unexpected aftermath.
The part that redefined Vlad's career and kind of cemented Vlad TV's place.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's set the scene. Imagine this, right? You're a journalist, you're reporting on something sensitive,
Yeah.
and then boom, you're facing direct, physical retaliation for doing your job.
It's chilling.
That's what Vladislav Lyubovny, who everyone knows as DJ Vlad, that's what he alleges happened to him, August 10th, 2008.
And the location is key too, right? The Ozone Awards in Houston, a big industry event.
Right. And according to the court documents, which paint a pretty disturbing picture, Vlad wasn't just randomly attacked. The claim was it was orchestrated.
Which is a terrifying thought for anyone in media. It really is.
It absolutely is. And, it begs the question, right? What was he reporting that could trigger such an extreme reaction?
Well, yeah, that's the core of it. This wasn't some minor piece. Vlad had published information about Rick Ross's past, specifically his time as a former corrections officer.
Okay, right. And for Ross.
For Ross, whose whole brand, his persona, his lyrics, everything was tied to this idea of street authenticity. This wasn't just a bad PR hit. It was deeper. It challenged his whole narrative, his artistic identity.
So it created this huge clash between his public image and this history that just didn't fit.
Exactly. And that, it seems, was the direct catalyst for the alleged retaliation.
And the way it allegedly went down, the orchestration described in the court docs, it sounds really deliberate.
Yeah, the accusation was that Ross lured Vlad into a meeting under false pretenses, set him up.
Right. Created a false sense of security, and then allegedly just let his entourage deliver a beating.
And the injuries weren't minor either.
No, not at all. We're talking serious facial fractures, a broken eye socket, nerve damage, stitches.
And the court filings mentioned some of this damage was described as permanent.
Yeah, permanent damage. It really underscores the kind of physical risks involved when reporting challenges powerful people, especially where image is everything.
Absolutely. So faced with that, that kind of violation physically and professionally, Vlad's next move was critical.
He didn't wait around.
No, he reacted swiftly. And deciding to sue, that was a powerful statement in itself about journalistic integrity, personal safety.
It wasn't just about getting back at Ross personally.
No, I think it signaled a clear intent, to challenge this legally, send a message that went beyond just them.
And he moved fast. Just, 5 days later? August 15, 2008, he files a federal lawsuit against Rick Ross.
Yeah, and not just any court. Southern District of New York, case number 1.08CV07252 for anyone wanting to look it up. It was serious federal action.
And the core allegation was pretty damning. He claimed Ross had calculated the attack, premeditated,
Yeah.
as direct retaliation for his journalism.
Right, so it wasn't framed as just a fight. It was framed as an attack on the press, essentially, using violence to silence reporting.
Exactly. And the money he asked for reflected that gravity.
Yeah, significant damages. He wasn't just looking for, medical bills covered. He wanted Ross penalized for allegedly orchestrating it.
So the complaint asked for $2 million in compensatory damages.
Right. And just to clarify for listeners, compensatory is meant to cover the actual harm suffered, medical costs, lost income, pain and suffering, that kind of thing.
But then there was another $2 million.
Yep, $2 million in punitive damages. And those are different. They aren't about making the victim whole. They're about punishing the defendant for really bad conduct, malicious, reckless stuff.
And deterring others from doing the same thing.
Exactly. So asking for $4 million total, that sent a very clear signal about how serious Vlad viewed this alleged attack.
Okay, so the lawsuit's filed. Then comes the legal grind, right?
Oh, yeah. Months and months of legal proceedings, the stuff that happens behind the scenes, discovery, where they exchange evidence.
Motions, depositions.
Yeah.
All that detailed legal work.
It's a long, drawn-out process, a lot of back-and-forth legal strategy. But eventually, after all that, the case did go to a federal jury.
Which shows Vlad's determination, sticking with it through that whole process.
Definitely. And when the jury finally made its decision, connecting it to the bigger picture, it was a really clear statement about protecting journalists, consequences for intimidation.
Especially violent intimidation.
Right. So April 16, 2010, the jury rules. And they rule in Vlad's favor.
They found Ross liable.
Liable for damages, yes.
Yeah.
That verdict sent a strong message across the media world. You can't physically attack journalists for their reporting without facing legal consequences.
Okay, so they ruled in Vlad's favor.
Oh.
The amount awarded,
Yeah.
That's where it gets really interesting, especially compared to the $4 million he asked for.
Right. The jury awarded $300,000 total.
Which breaks down how?
It was $50,000 for compensatory damages covering the actual harm, the injuries, the losses.
Okay.
But then a much larger chunk, $250,000, was awarded in punitive damages.
Wow. So 5 times more in punitive than compensatory.
Exactly. And that higher punitive amount, that was specifically to penalize Ross for, orchestrating the attack. It really highlights how the jury saw the alleged malicious intent.
It wasn't just about paying for the broken bones. It was punishment.
Precisely. And Ross, well, his public reaction was interesting, too.
Yeah, he kind of dismissed it, right? So it was a partial victory because it was less than 10% of what Vlad originally wanted.
He tried to spin it that way. But, while the dollar amount was less than the ask, the legal victory itself, especially those punitive damages, that spoke volumes.
It was a formal validation of Vlad's claims. A legal rebuke.
Absolutely. And it's worth noting, the official records, articles from places like BAT, XXL around that time, April 16, 17, 2010, they all backed up the verdict details, the injuries. The facts were widely reported.
Okay, so verdict in, damages awarded. What happens next? What does this actually mean beyond the courtroom drama? What did Vlad do with that $300,000?
This is where the story takes a really unexpected turn.
Yeah, because you might think, okay, personal windfall. Take a break, recover, enjoy the money after that whole ordeal.
Right. That would be the logical assumption for many people. But Vlad, he saw it differently. He made a really strategic, almost entrepreneurial move.
He didn't just cash the check and, buy a car.
No. What's truly remarkable, and it really shows his vision, is he reinvested the entire $300,000. All of it. Straight back into Vlad TV.
Wow, the whole amount.
The whole thing. He didn't see it as compensation for suffering. He saw it as seed money, start of capital to fuel his platform.
It's like a pretty bold move, turning a legal win from a personal assault into a business investment.
It really illustrates that forward-thinking mindset, audacious even, transforming adversity into opportunity.
So what did that $300K actually allow him to do? Was it just like a minor upgrade?
Oh, much more than minor. It was a fundamental shift for Vlad TV. This cash injection let them dramatically upgrade production quality.
Like better cameras, sound, lighting.
Exactly. Moving from maybe consumer gear to professional setups, better editing software. It made everything look and sound way more legitimate. Polished?
Oh, yeah.
It also boosted their hosting capabilities, bigger files, faster streaming, a more solid online presence, and crucially, the back-end infrastructure.
Making the website more stable, scalable.
Right. Able to handle more traffic, more content. It meant they could grow in a way that just wouldn't have been possible before. It wasn't just a blog anymore. It was becoming a real media operation.
Professional outfit.
Precisely. And that one decision, that reinvestment, it directly propelled Vlad TV. It went from being this, niche hip-hop commentary site to becoming one of YouTube's most influential platforms for interviews. Deep, often provocative talks with major cultural figures.
It's a prime example of turning that adversity into a real, tangible opportunity.
Absolutely. It shows how a massive challenge, a personal and legal fight, can actually become the catalyst for huge growth if you have the vision to see it that way.
So this whole case, this journey from the assault through the court to building this platform, it really sits at an interesting crossroads, doesn't it?
It does. Journalistic freedom on one side.
And then the kind of complex world of street politics, public image, authenticity.
Yeah, it starkly highlights that tension. When reporting clashes with a carefully built narrative, especially in entertainment where image is currency,
And the verdict itself, what broader message did that send? You touched on it earlier.
well, it raises that question, right? What does a ruling like this signal? Ross's alleged response, the assault, it triggered a legal precedent that strongly reinforced the idea that journalism has to be free from violence or intimidation.
The court basically said, you can't do that.
Pretty much. Especially with those punitive damages, it showed there are serious legal consequences, not just, bad press. It upheld the principle that journalists need to be able to do their jobs without fearing physical harm.
And for Vlad personally,
Yeah.
the impact was huge.
Multifaceted, like you said. It was validation for his work, his integrity, but also, crucially, it gave him the actual money to scale his platform dramatically.
It's a powerful lesson, really, turning that awful experience into a springboard.
Yeah, a testament to determination, strategic thinking, and sticking to your vision. Transforming a major setback into a massive step forward, building something really impactful out of it.
Ultimately, this deep dive, it really shows how navigating something profoundly difficult, like an alleged assault and a long legal battle, can sometimes, paradoxically, be the very thing that fuels unexpected growth, the creation of something significant.
It's a compelling story, isn't it? Personal conviction, legal recourse, and some serious business smarts all coming together, leading to the rise of this media powerhouse.
So you've heard how this really contentious legal fight, starting with a journalist just doing his job, didn't end with him being silenced.
Far from it.
Instead, it laid the foundation, the financial foundation for a major media empire. It's just a powerful testament to resilience, that strategic vision we talked about.
And that entrepreneurial spirit, seeing opportunity where others might just see, well, damages.
It really proves that sometimes the biggest challenges offer the biggest opportunities if you're bold enough to grab them.
Yeah, this whole story really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do the toughest things we face, the most painful challenges, actually become the fuel for our greatest successes? If we're willing to see the opportunity, and reinvest ourselves, our energy, our vision to something bigger.
Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for diving deep with us today.